Kia ora koutou katoa, nau mai haere mai ki te tautoko ngā kaupapa I tēnei rānau reira. Tēnā koutou katoa, Mozzie Hoppy is in the house. Today is going to be a very simple fix because we're going to be replacing a steering post. If you don't know what that is and you're having some steering issues, well, stick around and find out. Without further ado, let's get stuck into it. Okay, so you're moving forwards with your car and you find out that it's not steering quite right. So the chances are you're missing a steering post that sits right underneath here. So if you were to remove 5 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I have already removed my 5 screws, so if I grab this right now, it should just lift off nicely, just like that. I want to tilt my camera right now, about there. So see that there? See that there? That's the steering post. There should be a bearing sitting there at the bottom, and your steering post should be right dead center there. So I'm going to go and grab the parts right now, and I'm going to show you how to install them. Okay, so we've got our 2 little bearings here, 3x6 by 2.5 bearings, and we've got our steering post right there. So this is a very easy process to do. So basically the first bearing goes at the top, second bearing goes at the bottom. So let's go ahead and do that, eh? So let's take that off first. Take the other bearing off. So what we want to do is, hope we can see that. So we want to put the first bearing at the top. Grab your second bearing. Oops, second bearing. Let's straighten up the first bearing first. Right, second bearing underneath, right there. Move it to the side where it's nice and flat so the bottom bearing doesn't fall out. Right, another thing I want to show you is, see that little hole there? That's where the pin drops down into, okay? So what we do is grab our pin or steering post, drop it down in there, and we want to move it towards that hole. Right, so it's just not going to fall into there. We want to push it. And there you go. There you go. So we've got our 2 pins in there, got our 2 bearings. Going to grab our top again. We're going to put it there. And then what we're going to do is grab our 2mm. Right, I'm going to use the speed tip. No, not that one. Grab our screws. Okay, so that's the 2.5 I've got on there. I've just changed my screws, because I myself crash these as well, and I do lose screws as well, and I've just gone and put any old screw in there. And that's how you do it, easy as. Another thing I want to show you too, okay, is how that happened, okay? How did I lose that pin? So I want to just turn it to the side here ever so slightly. Alright, so see this bit here? So this is called a chassis. Okay, so then you've got all your front here, all this bit here. Okay, so because it's plastic, what happens is when you have a hard impact in the front here, okay, nice and hard, old little Johnny wants to go really fast because he just wants to show his dad that he's a cool driver. So what happens is when he has a hard impact, it doesn't matter if the impact's there or there or, you know, there, it's still gonna have an effect on this area right here. So what happens is when you have a hard impact or a roll, so some kids can roll these many times, a hard roll can do it as well. So once it's sort of like, because it's plastic again, it pushes it really hard, and this actually flexes, and then what happens is when this flexes, it moves this mechanism here, which is called the servo saver, and lifts that top ever so slightly, and then this servo saver mechanism jumps from the side and the pin falls straight out there. and that's what causes that pin to actually fall out from the bottom. It can't get out the top because you've got the top here. There's only one way out, and that's through the bottom. So that's how you lose that. Alright guys, that's all for today. So like, subscribe. As always kids, keep cool till after school. Peace.